Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Happy Wednesday. Let's get in here. Good evening. It is almost 7 o'clock. We got a few more seconds and we're going to get started. So hang on in there. Come on. Say hi. Don't be rude. Tell me where you're watching from. And if you watch the replay, do the same thing. You got questions, put them in the chat or send me a DM and I definitely will get back to you. So come on in. It is a happy Wednesday. It is 7 o'clock on the dot, and I like to be on time because I value your time. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And plus, I got other stuff to do. I still got to return some phone calls, and I want to get a second workout in today. But anyways, you didn't ask me about that. Okay, this week we are talking about multiple streams of security, right? Dr. Lysa and I get on every week Wednesday at 7 p.m. and we share with you different tips to help you get through financial crisis, right? That financial crisis can be a job loss. We concentrate on that, whether it's a job loss whether you're trying to pivot careers, start a new career. And so we know that many people are getting laid off. They're one accident away from their financial situation turning upside down, inside out. And we want to give you practical tips and things that you can hang on to, give you some nuggets that if should you get laid off, okay, should you have a loss of income, that you will be able to move forward. That yes, it may be a temporary setback, but you're coming back stronger than ever before. Okay, so you're not going to stay stuck. Okay, we don't believe in staying stuck, staying down. No, all things will be working for you. So one of the things is multiple streams of security is our topic, beyond one paycheck and beyond one mortgage. Listen, most people only have enough in their account liquid for one mortgage, less than on two or three. And usually when I'm refinancing property and you have other property, we want you to have 6 months. Your goal should be to at least have 6 months worth of reserves, living expenses saved up into an account. Most people don't have that. And so imagine if you don't have that, then you lose your job. It's even a greater strain on you, right? Because let's say you get laid off, then a lot of times when you apply for unemployment, you may have a week in the hole, so to speak. So there's a week you don't get paid. I mean, it can be very challenging, to say the least. So it's important that we get ourselves to a point that we have multiple streams of security, and it's beyond one paycheck and beyond one mortgage, right? That's minimum. You need to have a lot more than that so you can kind of feel secure, right? Kind of know, you know what, if I have a little setback, it's gonna be okay. Lights not gonna get cut off tomorrow or next month. Like, I'm going to be okay. So the first thing is, you may have your active income, right? Your active income is your full-time job. Now, if you have a full-time job, you're going to want it. We're talking about multiple streams of income, right? Behind one mortgage. Most of the time, if you qualified for, to buy a house or to rent a place, right? They looked at your income, maybe your full-time job that you have, right? But we're talking about multiple streams of income. You may want to not only have your full-time job, so if you're laid off, you're actively seeking employment, right? But in addition to that, you want to look at freelance work or consulting. What do you do well that you love to do? It's not a strain. It is your passion, right? Do you like making, crocheting blankets? I've seen some online, some amazing um, uh, garments that people made out of crochet. And I'm like, wow, what a gift, right? So if you think about things that you like to do freelance, are you great in English? And you're like, look, I can edit a book real good, okay? Um, because I can catch all the mistakes, right? So you may want to put yourself out there as the awesome book editor, okay? Consulting work. You may be that person that people call to for them to go back to school, and they're coaching you or consulting you through or you're coaching and consulting them through a specific thing that they're trying to accomplish, right? Consulting work, maybe for them to get new clients in their field, right? Maybe you're great at consulting in that. Maybe you're a great consultant as it relates to going back to school. So we're talking about multiple streams of income. So you want to have your full-time job. And then you want to think about the gifts, the talents that the Lord has blessed you with, that maybe you can have a side business, a purposeful business. Hate to say side, but for until you're able to do it full time, it may be considered a side, right? But your passion project, that freelance, that consulting work, and it could be photography. Some people use ride sharing as their like side hustle as well. So we're talking about multiple streams of income so you can have the security that you need. So if one goes belly up, one company decides to lay you off, like me. Remember, I told you guys my story many years ago. I had got laid off myself and 399 other people, and I've been self-employed since. It was a journey. I'm not going to tell you I didn't try to help God out and seek some contract work in the meantime when it got lean. But now God brought me through that. He took me through that. And now I'm thriving. I'm doing amazing. I've been helping a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people. I've helped them, acquire property, finance property, and all of that. So we're talking about active income. In addition to active income, whether that's your full-time job, whether you do freelance and consulting work on the side, and maybe you have a side hustle, ride sharing or doing photography or something like that, you're going to want to position yourself to be able to get passive income, right? Passive income is that income that you do not actively have to work to achieve, right? So you are making that income in your sleep. Some passive income is like rental property, right? You're not working. Once you purchase that property and you put a qualified tenant that pays on time in the property, you're getting that rent, right? Every single month it's coming in. If you have dividend stocks, right? Dividend stocks is again another example of passive income, investment income that you can receive. We're talking about security, because when you lose your job, if you don't have none of this other stuff set up, it can be a strain. And I don't want it to be a strain on you, right? If you have interest from savings bonds, that's also good too. Savings and bonds, not saving bonds, but savings and bonds. I know it's minimal. I know it's very small, but you can get some products that will give you a better return. And let's just say you write books or you write songs, or you do online courses. You can look into royalties, getting that information. You do it one time, right? You write that song one time, you write that book one time, you write that course one time, and now people from here on out, they can go purchase that over and over again. You could run an ad and people are constantly purchasing it. So that's another thing that you can do in addition to your active income. You can have your passive or investment income. The other thing is, you know, uh, having a business, right? It may be e-commerce where, you are selling actual product, whether you're selling clothing, items, you name it. Um, so you're shipping, people are ordering, you're shipping and all of that. Maybe you can do something with, Walmart or Amazon, whatever it is. You could think about that. other ways that you can make money. How about merchandise your wisdom? Okay, I like to say merchandise your wisdom, which means you are creating maybe courses or information that people will buy because they want to know how you do what you do, right? They want to know, maybe they can't afford you, but you can write a book. And that's what I did. I had an Amazon bestseller, a book, because I wrote a book. And for people that could not afford my services, or they felt like they could do it on their own, I wrote a book and said, this is how I do what I do, and have at it. It's not as easy as that, but I literally gave them everything that I do. So, creating online education courses that people can purchase with your expertise, and they can take it for themselves and accomplish whatever is in the information that you're providing. And then digital products, right? Again, that's subscriptions, that's templates, that's apps, that's all kind of stuff. If you're in that space, think about owning a business that has, whether it's e-commerce, people are buying and you're shipping products out to them, whether it's online education, your expertise in a certain field, or it's digital products. Okay, so beyond one mortgage, right? So we're talking about having multiple streams of income beyond just one mortgage payment. Okay, so one of the things you want to think about as you are building, okay, because this is temporary. You may be laid off right now, but this is temporary. Do know that some of the best ways to get into real estate really is to buy family units, right? Buy units, especially 1 to 4, because it's still, if you buy units, 1 to 4 units, it's still considered residential. You can get FHA loan on at least a duplex, and you can get some other government programs if you're doing multi-units, and it's doesn't exceed 4 units, right? I don't want to go too deep in that. You can get vacation rentals. People buy property to Airbnb, right? We're talking about asset diversification. So you are not just depending on your job. These companies are laying off left and right. You're connected to me, and I suggest that you stay connected to me on all my social media platforms at Go Lacy Robertson. That's Lacy without an E and Robertson with a T. I announce and share layoff information weekly. Okay, I share this weekly because I don't want people to be caught off guard like I was. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a job. Like, they let us know that day that, you know what, you can go back upstairs and get your belongings together. Today is your last day. As a matter of fact, you ain't gonna even work the full day. Go back to your desk and take your stuff. Oh, we no longer need you. And that was 399 people. So think about uh, getting real estate that will pay for itself and help pay for the lifestyle that you want, to give you a little bit more security, right? Other tangible assets that you may want to look into, because we're talking about having security, having more than just enough for 1 month worth of bills. You want to look at stocks or bonds or mutual funds. Look at life insurance policies that you can borrow against when you have had it for a considerable amount of time, and maybe you could borrow against it in hard times, right? Look at precious metals, collectibles. Buy things that don't depreciate in value, is what I'm saying, right? People have metals, they have coins, they have all kind of stuff that they collect because it's intellectual property. It's gonna be worth a lot of money, and so they hold on to it. So security is just not financial, right? I want to encourage you, and I'm sure Dr. Lysa would say the same in her absence today, is we want to make sure that we have career security, right? Um, and when your life is in someone else's hands, right, you're working for someone, that can be difficult, right? They may wake up and say, look, I can't pay you no more, or I don't need your services. And so we want to have career security. And the best way to do that is not just depend on a job, but have develop our skills, develop have good networking skills, right, and certifications that we can do and have and complete to make ourselves more valuable, right? And if it's not for a company, it is for you to have your own business, right? And you can merchandise your wisdom. You've taken the time to matriculate through school and get all these certifications, and you're networking, and then you let people know, oh, what do you do? Oh, well, I do this. And you never know what can become of that, right? And then also we're talking about health security. We can't, it's not all about our skills, right? We want to make sure that we're healthy, because if we're not healthy and we're not around, what good is it to have a job and you can't report because you're not feeling good, right? So we want to have health security, meaning we want to make sure we're keeping our insurance up to date, that we have our regular checkups, right? Preventive care. And then we do wellness routines, right? Wellness routines. Go get your blood work done, get your mammogram, get your pap smear, get all of those things done so you can be secure in your health. So we want to be secure in our career. We want to be secure in our health, and digital security as well. Right? You want to protect. Now you're coming back stronger than ever before, right? You are building the life that you want, that you've always dreamed and talked about. But I want you to be safe online. Okay. There's a lot of scammers out there. So be safe. You're applying for jobs. You are sharing personal information, perhaps when you're filling out applications. I want you to be secure. Back up your information. And just make sure that, you know what, if if the email looks a little fishy, it's better to pick up the phone and call the person that you've been dealing with and make sure that it's really from them. Because there's a lot of bank impersonation, people impersonating that they work for the bank, just all kind of stuff there, right? And then make sure you are surrounded by just amazing people. You want to have relationship security. Now, this is not just a romantic relationship, right? You want to have relationship security. That's your community, your family, your support system, your brothers and sisters in Christ, whoever it is around you. Even have mentors, have coaches. You want to make sure that you are in a healthy place where you have good people around you. Not only are they speaking life into you, they're showing you, look, you can get through this. This is just a temporary season. Don't worry about it. I got your back, right? So just to recap, because this is going to be short tonight, we are talking about multiple streams of security, right? Beyond one paycheck and beyond one mortgage. We don't just want to have the minimum, right? When we have the minimum, if something happens, our car breaks down, we lose our job. Oh my gosh. Now, it's just a lot more stressful. It's a lot more stressful. So we want to make sure that we have active income, right? Those full-time jobs, those freelance works and flexible gigs, right? You don't have to show up, but if you happen to get a job in that particular area, it works for you, right? You want to build a business, right? Build a business, also have passive income, get that real estate. We're talking about rebuilding, right? Get that real estate so you can be able to provide housing for someone else, and then they're in turn not only paying for the housing that they have, but perhaps if you have enough, they'll be paying for the lifestyle that you've always want and dreamed about, right? And so make sure you diversify your assets, not just have real estate, but have other things like stocks and you know stocks, savings, you want to have bonds, you want to have dividend paying stock. Like you want to have mutual funds, you want to diversify. And then lastly, I will say is security is a big spectrum, right? You want career security. You want to be well. You want to be well. So make sure you have your regular checkups. Stay safe online. I can't say that enough. Stay safe online and make sure you have the right connections, right? Cultivate community, camaraderie, and connection. I want you to cultivate your community, your camaraderie, and your connection. Be around like-minded people. Like we already have things that we have to fight and contend with outside. Like make sure you're around people that you like and they like you and they care about you and you genuinely care about them. Like you don't have to stay in a space that doesn't support you and doesn't feed you and doesn't lift you up. Okay. So prayerfully, if any of you guys have any mortgage or real estate needs, just to recap, I'm Lacy Robertson, the hardest working woman in mortgage and real estate nationwide. I've been doing in the mortgage and real estate industry over 18 years. I help people sell property, buy property, finance property, refinance property. But when life deals them lemons, I help them make lemonade. How do I do that? Help them avoid foreclosure by any means necessary. If they've experienced a loss of income due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, layoff, or natural disaster, I'm your girl. You can always get a hold of me. You can direct message me on any of the social media platforms, or better yet, pick up the phone and just dial 714-914-7254. Again, that's 714-914-7254. I'll put that in the chat before I leave. Let me just, if you have any questions, I know this can be a sensitive topic. Nobody wants to wear a t-shirt and hat and say, I'm unemployed, I need help. But if you don't want to do it publicly, send me a private message, okay? I'm going to thank you guys for tuning in. If you have a mortgage or real estate need, please contact, please, I will say call, and then I'll put my number here, or, okay, or direct message me. How about that? And I will be happy to help you. I'll be happy to help you. So that's my time for this evening. Thanks for tuning in. Have an amazing evening. And Dr. Lysa should be back with us next week. I know you guys missed her. She has some gems that she always drops and shares. So we'll be back together next week. Until then, have a wonderful evening and a blessed week ahead. All right. Bye-bye.